Hello traders, and welcome to this market overview video from FoxEx for the week ahead commencing on Monday the 28th of May. Now before we get into the charts, we would like to say that if any of the following information feels anything less than completely clear to you, then we would like to recommend that you take full advantage of the growing library of free educational videos which can be easily accessed via our trading platform here in the Help tab. Incidentally, we did release a new video last week called Riding the Waves, and this video was intended to offer insights on trading multiple time frames when using the wealth crossover indicator. Also, feel free to join the growing FoxEx trading community and share your thoughts and questions via our online trading floor, which again can easily be accessed via our trading platform by clicking on the chat room tab shown here. In our chat room you will find a continuous stream of very high quality trading conversations which are centered around the FoxEx trading tools and the most recent moves in the markets. Okay, so let's go over to the charts and take a look. Now for those of you in our chat room, you may remember that we posted this image last week which indicated our sentiment towards several different currency pairs. So let's begin by taking a look at how those markets ended up. Here on the yen, our bias was to the short side, and as you can see, the market really did fall as expected, producing some wonderful and very profitable price action entry signals on the way down. Incidentally, many of the members of the FoxEx trading community did take these trades and made a handsome profit as the market fell to the downside. We also had a bias to the short side on the Swissy, and despite the large pullback shown here, the market then continued to move to the downside. Incidentally, the wealth crossover indicator did forecast this pullback rather nicely, and for the scalpers we even got a great price action entry signal way down here on the 15-minute charts. Here on the GBPJPY, again we had a bias to the short side, and again the market did indeed fall quite sharply downwards, producing a number of great short signals here along the way. Here on the Aussie we had a bias towards the upside here on the 4-hour charts, as the daily looked like it was ready to turn. And although the market hasn't turned on a dime, it has turned somewhat and again produced some good looking price action entries here on the 4-hour charts. Very similar story on the Kiwi. We were expecting a turn and it has started to happen, but not as aggressively as some of the other charts. As you can see here, no long signals have been generated on the H4 charts on the Kiwi thus far. So in the week ahead we'll be looking for a breakout from this range and potentially a pullback before taking a move to the upside. The loonie was the black sheep for us last week, as our bias was to the short side, and as you can see in this case the market moved upwards, so in this example our analysis was incorrect. Incidentally, when we drop down into the 1-hour time frame, here you can see several really good looking price action entries just as the market pulled back before rocketing off to the upside. Finally, we were looking at a potential move to the downside here on the Euro GBP, but as you can clearly see, the market has been stuck in this range here for the bulk of last week. Okay, so overall not too bad, some great moves on the yen pairs especially. For those in our chat room, there has been a lot of talk regarding the Japanese yen recently and its dominance, which is typical for this time of the year. So looking forward, let's see what we can see for the week ahead. First, let's take another look at the Japanese yen. Great move to the downside in recent days, but here on the 4-hourly charts we see that we are indeed at the end of the wave and perhaps due for a pullback. Definitely still a strong bias to the short side here on the yen, but we may be able to get a better selling price if the market does pull back here on the 4-hour before going short again. Swissy still looking bearish on the daily, but hasn't really started falling steeply yet on any of the time frames. We will keep an eye on this pair and be looking for potential short entries in the upcoming week. Incidentally, the Swissy is notoriously quite strong in June along with the yen, so that's another reason to look for short entries on both of these pairs against the US dollar, which incidentally is historically quite weak in June also. Pound yen, one of our favourite pairs to trade here at FoxEx, an interesting pair to look at this week. As you can see, we're at the end of the daily wave despite the strong move to the downside in recent days. As mentioned, the yen is normally strong in June, so we would typically be looking to short this pair, but given the fact that price is at the tip of the wave, then perhaps a good idea to hold off and see what happens in the early part of next week. Perhaps we're going to see a strong pullback on all the yen pairs before going short again as we approach the end of the month. And finally, a couple of interesting observations for those of you who like to trade the higher time frames. Look at these lovely waves here on the weekly chart for the Japanese yen, and when we turn on the price action entries, you can see that we have now got a confirmed sell signal here on the Japanese yen, adding further confirmation that it is most likely headed south in the upcoming days and weeks. Also here on the Kiwi, beautiful wave structure in the market according to the wealth crossover indicator, and now priced right at the end of the wave, so definitely one to keep an eye on if you like these slow moving time frames. Okay traders, that's all for this week. We're sure that there are lots more opportunities bubbling away in the background, so again, if you would like to share your thoughts on the markets or gain a greater understanding about the FoxEx trading tools and how best to use them, then please join us via our online trading floor. We wish you all a great week ahead and look forward to hearing all about your success stories. This has been a market overview from FoxEx.